there are 5 entrance gates to the shrine of Imam Ali alayhi salam. One of them is called Babu Sheikh al-Tusi, which is directly in the middle of the northern side of the outer brick wall. It is of course named after Sheikh al-Ta'ifah, the Sheikh of the Shia sect, Sheikh Abu Ja'far al-Tusi, as the mosque that includes his grave lies directly opposite that particular gate. The gate measures 4.7 meters in height and 3.4 meters in width, and opens into a 19-meter long corridor which ends into the holy courtyard of the Imam alayhi salam. This is Babu Sa'a, one of the oldest gates of the shrine. Known as As-Sa'a Gate, it lies in the middle of the eastern side of the outer brick wall. It has other names too. It is known as Bab Ali ibn Musa al-Ridha alayhi salam, as well as Bab al-Kabir, because it faces the big market right across in front of it. It measures 3.10 meters wide and 3.9 meters high, and the corridor is 6.4 meters long. It has some beautiful inscriptions. For example, the famous narration of the Holy Prophet of Islam, Ana Madinatul Ilm wa Aliyun Babuha, I am the city of knowledge and Ali is its gate, as well as famous poetry such as Aliyun Hubbuhu Jannah, Qasimun Nari wal Jannah. The other gate is the one of Muslim ibn Aqil alayhi salam. This is located right next to the As-Sa'a gate, measuring 3.3 meters wide and 4 meters high, with an 8.9 meter corridor. It was constructed in the month of Rajab, year 1252 AH. Al-Qibla gate, or Bab al-Qibla, lies in the middle of the southern part of the outer brick wall. Its name is derived from the position as it's positioned in the direction of the Qibla. It is 3.97 meters wide and 8.8 meters long corridor follows it into the courtyard. Bab al-Faraj is 3.2 meters wide and 4.3 meters high, leading into an 8.9 meter long corridor. Now, a visitor who enters the shrines through these holy doors will enter with humility, with submissiveness of the heart, with the thankfulness that they've come here accepted by the Imam alayhi salam. It is also customary for many of the visitors to stand right next to the gates, any of the 5, and recite what is known as Idhnud Dukhul, the permission to enter, recognizing that the permission comes from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, from the Prophet, from the angels, and from the Imam who is buried here. They enter with full conviction and readiness to be welcomed into this oasis of tranquility and calmness, to remember the Almighty subhanahu wa ta'ala in the honor of the servant of Allah who is indeed within its confines. This is the Ruach of Abu Talib, which means the area, the confined area of Abu Talib, right next to the Darih of Imam alayhi salam. Now, it is an area which measures 1,200 meters squared, making it able to accommodate more than 2,000 worshippers as far as Salah is concerned. This place was constructed after the demolition of an archway which had been previously used as a maqam. It has 5 doors which open onto the other ruwaqs or areas of the mausoleum. This area was launched on the 13th of Rajab in the year 1432 after Hijrah, on the birth anniversary of Imam Ali alayhi salam. Now, here at the Ruach of Abu Talib, or the confines of Abu Talib, right next to the mausoleum, there is a maqam or position or station of Imam al-Sadiq alayhi salam, which is a spot next to the door of Masjid al-Ra's. Remembering that the Mosque of the Head, as well as this particular station, don't exist today physically, but the location can be pinpointed by those who work here and have understanding of it. Now, The station of Imam al-Sadiq next to the Darih of Imam Amir al-Mu'mineen alayhi salam, it's narrated to be the place where he would pray and perform the salah when he came to perform the ziyarah of his grandfather Imam Ali alayhi salam. 50 years ago it was covered by a white dome which spanned across approximately 100 square meters, but of course today there are no remains of it, and it's indeed part of the larger shrine. Now here in Ruach of Abu Talib, which is an area where worshippers sit and reflect and pray, is a place known as Masjid al-Ra's. Now, although the actual physical mosque is not here, is known as the Mosque of the Head, and it is on the western side of the actual courtyard. The name of the mosque is due to two possible opinions. One of the reasons why this mosque is known as Masjid al-Ra's is because it faces the direction of the head of Imam Ali alayhi salam, and as far as his grave is concerned. Another reason is because there's a narration from Imam al-Sadiq alayhi salam that says that the head of Imam al-Hussein, peace and blessings be upon him, was actually buried in this area. There are 7 entrances or doors through which one can enter this holy shrine. The first entrance is directly in the middle of the Golden Iwan. The second entrance is known as the Allama Hilli Gate. The third is known as Marqad al-Ardabili Gate. The fourth is a doorway opposite the Al-Tusi Gate. The fifth is a doorway opposite the Qibla Gate. The sixth is directly situated to the right of the Scholars' Iwan, known as Al-Fadl Al-Shirbiyani entrance. And the seventh doorway is situated south of the Holy Shrine, to the left of the Iwan of the Golden Roof, and it's known as the Al-Baneen entrance. The wonderful, mesmerizing, golden Darih, the mausoleum of the commander of the faithful, Amir al-Mu'mineen Ali ibn Abi Talib salawatullahi wa salamu alayhi. You cannot but stand in awe and admiration of the grand beauty and the magnificence of this Darih. All around this particular holy place, you'll find inscriptions of verses, of narrations from the Prophet and from Amir al-Mu'mineen, as well as lines of poetry which describe the excellence and the status of the commander of the faithful. It is difficult to pinpoint the history of this Darih, but what we know is that this current one behind me was built by the head of the Bohra community, Tahir Saifuddin, who donated it from India, and it was installed in 1942 on the occasions of the Wilada of Imam Ali alayhi salam on the 13th of Rajab. It took 5 years to build at a cost of 80,000 dinars at a time. Inside the Darih, this golden shrine, is a rare box made of the best Indian wood and inlaid with shells. It was created in 1202 AH and measures 4.83 meters in length, 3.03 meters in width, and 1.83 meters in height. The art that manufactures such antiques is known as Fan al-Khatami, and the box has been shrouded in glass for maintenance since 1361. At the Darih of Amir al-Mu'mineen salawatullahi wa salamu alayh, there is a place known as Mawda'ul Isba'ain, literally the place of two fingers. It's across the place where the Imam's alayhi salam's holy face lies. It has been said that there was a tyrant ruler whose name was Al-Murra ibn al-Qais, who was once speaking about his tribe and his forefathers. He asked the elders of his tribe about those who had passed away from his family, and in response they said that many of them had been killed in a battle. He further asked about those who had killed them, and they responded by saying that most of them had been killed at the hands of Ali ibn Abi Talib. So he asked, where is Ali buried? And was told that he was buried in Najaf. Murrah then sent an army of 2,000 individuals to storm Najaf. After 6 days of defending the city, the people of Najaf were defeated. And Murrah entered the shrine and began to destroy it. As he was about to exhume the grave, 2 fingers came out of the dhariyah and, as though they were a sword, cut him in half. At that very moment, the 2 halves of his body became stone, and these 2 stones were then kept near the road and the pathway, after which the army took them and indeed hid them. This is known as Mawdi'ul Isba'ain, the place of the 2 fingers. Iwan al-Ulama, the place of scholars, is an area just in front of the mosque of Imran ibn Shaheen, inside the shrine of Amir al-Mu'mineen Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam. Iwan al-Ulama is a place where a number of scholars are buried. And this is characteristic of the shrine. All across it there are graves of notable, very respected ulama of Islam that have chosen and have requested to be buried in proximity to the brother of Rasulullah, Amir al-Mu'mineen Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam. Now, of course, there is a close relationship between ulama, knowledge, and the Imam, peace and blessings be upon him. Knowledge is very much something part and parcel of the city of Najaf. There is a huge seminary here. Every morning you find hundreds of scholars coming here, taking part in Hawza lessons all across in different parts of this particular shrine. Remembering, of course, that they seek inspiration from a man that has been praised by Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam when he says, "Ana madinatul ilm wa aliyun babuha." I am the city of knowledge and Ali, its gate. As students of ilm in the holy city of Najaf, coming to study next to Amir al-Mu'mineen, there is a special feeling. There is a feeling that it's very hard to describe. It is as if the Imam alayhi salam is somehow encouraging the students, somehow pushing them and inspiring them to gain this understanding and to disseminate the teachings of the Quran as well as that of the Ahl al-Bayt. Peace and blessings be upon them. The sacred golden dome of the shrine of Imam Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam is regarded as one of the most prominent features of the holy shrine for both its massiveness as well as its height. It is distinguished by its long neck, which adds to its majesty and brilliance, in addition to the accuracy and harmony of its art, offering a spectacular scene to viewers from both inside and the outside. Now, the dome of Imam Ali alayhi salam's holy shrine is the only dome out of all the shrine that is higher than the minarets next to it. From the inside, the dome provides a spectacular view, for it is adorned with the most wonderful Islamic architecture as well as glazed decorations and inscriptions. From the outside, the dome is covered with copper tiles that have been coated with pure gold. The dome is placed on 4 large pillars. If we were to include the gilded name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the total height of the dome would measure to be 33.5 meters. Its outer diameter is 16.6 meters and its circumference 51.85 meters. A 1.46 meter long gilded band, which is made out of blue enamel and coated with gold, and upon which the blessed Quranic chapter Al-Fajr is depicted, separates between the dome and its neck. A golden spherical ball with a height of 3.5 meters is placed above the dome, stands between the base and the gilded name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The dome was coated in the mid-60s of the 20th century, where 63 kilograms of pure gold were added onto it. Recently, in 2016, and specifically on the 17th of Rabi' al-Awwal, celebrating the auspicious birth anniversary of the Prophet of Islam, Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, his grandson, Imam Ja'far ibn Muhammad al-Sadiq, salawatullahi wa salamu alayhi, the dome was recoated with gold in a very important project by the administrators of the Imam Ali alayhi salam shrine. In addition, at the top of the dome, you'll see a number of features. One is a sun-looking structure which highlights that Ali ibn Abi Talib, peace and blessings be upon him, is like a light that shines through with his knowledge. He's like the sun that emanates with light. As well as that, there are 14 pointers that emerge from this particular sun-looking structure, which is of course the same number as the Ma'sumeen, the 14 error-free, sinless leaders of mankind, the Prophet of Islam, his beloved daughter Fatima, and the 12 Imams. At the same time, you'll see a hand-looking structure, and that indicates or is symbolic of the hand of Imam Ali ibn Abi Talib, where it was raised by the Prophet of Islam in the famous incident of Al-Ghadir on the 18th of Dhul Hijjah, year 10 after Hijrah, in which the Prophet of Islam says, "Whomsoever I am the Mawla, whomsoever I have authority over, then Ali has this authority." The Shrine of Imam Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam welcomes millions of visitors across the year who are eagerly anticipating visiting this holy place. Therefore, there is a requirement for expansion and renovation, which indeed has been the case by the noble efforts of those who are responsible for taking care of the shrine. One of the major projects of the shrine expansion in this country is what is known as the courtyard of Lady Fatima Zahra alayhi salam, in which we are here currently. This courtyard includes much of the western section of the shrine complex. It is being designed and built on a gradual basis and across 4 stages, and it includes 4 different levels, 50% of which is reserved for worshippers and of those who've come to display their devotion. The Sahan of Fatima Zahra alayhi salam and the huge project itself